Stand by. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay.
Are you rolling here?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging until there was you. And you, of course, is the Vishimilov U-T-1 rocket that Russia has just developed. It's a strange kind of an instrument. It's an instrument that could be a threat to the Western world. It could, excuse me. There were increased troop movements across the demilitarized zone into North Korea today, and that's probably going to have an effect on our foreign policy. We'll be back in a moment. I have some interesting personal news for men. A very personal male product. Lloyd Manganero Deltoid Spray. It's good for the male working in today's workaday, rough, rest-away world. Deltoid spray is made from the extracted liquid from the spleens of perfumed sheep. It comes in aerosol, it comes in roll-on. Try it. You really can't lose.
I'll tell you, I'd like to talk about a very, very important experience to me. I come from Louisiana. I'm a farmer down there. I raise gators, I raise crabs, I raise whatever can be raised down there. Whatever can be raised on the swamps. I remember one night. Now I'm not the kind of guy to make up stories. I'm not the kind of guy to come and to bluff you and to guff you. I come on there one night and I was hauling up crabs. That's just near Dulac on a bridge there where I usually crab fish. I bring them up there. They're blue-legged crabs and they're very good boiled, very good sautéed. I brought them up and I'd pulled in about maybe 15, 20, and I looked up in the sky. And all of a sudden I saw this light, like I'd never seen anything like it before. And I knew it wasn't an airplane, I knew it wasn't a copter. And I looked up, and down they came. There were discs, whirling discs. And they come down, and they landed, about 3 of them, on the swamp itself. And they just hovered there, you know. And like a hovercraft or something, you know. But it wasn't that, you know. I know, because I got an airplane myself, you know. And they rested there. They just and they didn't even get their bottoms wet. And then a ramp came down. And 2 of these guys got out. Now, they looked like, they could have looked like they worked in a bank, you know. They were really well dressed, and they come out. But I knew they weren't from this planet. And they come down, they started to talk to me, and in a minute, they had me inside there, and they were doing all sorts of tests on me. And the thing started to whirl, and it lifted up, and then it just dropped me. It just dropped me down, and I got up, and I looked up, and it was gone. You know, now, you can believe it, I don't know. You can believe it if you want to, or you can just say that I'm making up this story. But to me, it was very, very important. It was very important because it killed all the crabs in the area, and my livelihood's threatened now, and I'd like somebody to do something about it. For all of you here who are working the late night shift in Gotham, we'd just like to elaborate a bit. We're going to be talking to the Coca-Cola people today, and I can remember when I was working in radio in Philadelphia, radio news, we always had a joke about Coca-Cola. There was a double entendre thing happening about Coke. It's a dark liquid. They use sugar in it. It's made in Atlanta, and it's really a marvelous, marvelous drink. And we're going to be talking with some of the executives today. We'll be back in a moment. I think today what we'd like to see now, you know, we were talking about shale and the influence of shale on the topography of the earth and how shale was superimposed and brought down by the glacial formations. Now, when a shale formation forms itself, there are layers which exist. And our job now is to tear away every layer and to look very closely at each layer and to analyze where topographically and geographically where it all came from. Now, glaciers, of course, came down, they swept down, there were tons of ice coming down from the Northland, sweeping, cutting lakes, cutting rivers, cutting all kinds of waterways so that boats could travel on them and so that we could generate electric power. We have a lot of things to thank the glacier for, but who do we write, you know? I don't know, what, more?
Give me a little, give me the French-Canadian character. I just want one more card. Sorry?
Okay.
Thank you.
One more, Dave. David, one more.
Well, I'll tell you, the best way to, if you want to cut a tree, the best way is to take a chain. Chainsaw, and you take it and you start it up, and the blade will whir around and it will cut the tree. I have one here if you'd like to see it, and we'll make a test on the desk here. You see it cuts through the desk very effectively. You can use it on cars if you want, or whatever you want to cut. I don't know. You want more characters,
No.
more accents, more
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
a cleaner look?
Thank you. Thanks for coming down, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming to New York.
Leave your photo
Really
address
great.
and I